The aerial scouts of the Skyforce unit of the 108th Brigade under the Ukrainian Armed Forces have intercepted the assembly point of Russian army soldiers in the occupied territory of Zaporizhzhia region and passed the information to the artillerymen. More than 40 invaders who came to the forest area with Gazelle vehicles were struck with the Himars rocket system and cluster artillery. As a result, most of the vehicles and occupying soldiers in the area were destroyed.
Recently, the Ukrainian Defense Forces launched a successful attack on the Russians in Crimea. Preliminarily, the Russians lost an anti-aircraft missile system. This is the conclusion reached by experts from the OSINT project. Himars, after studying satellite images of the strike site. OSINTers believe that the strike successfully destroyed either the S-300 or S-400 system. Visually, they are very similar and difficult to distinguish using satellite images. We analyzed synthetic aperture radar images, Sentinel for October the 13th and 24th of the area around the settlement of Rusakovka in Crimea. They show the movement of the S-300/S-400 type air defense system. The satellite image after the strike shows the explosions of ATACMS sub-munitions as well as traces that remained after the destruction of air defense system elements, noted Zaporizhzhia. They were unable to assess the extent of damage to the Russian complex as the Russians promptly removed it from the impact site. It can only be stated that the SAM system left its combat position, ceasing operations in the area. Synthetic aperture radar is a technology for obtaining images using radar mounted on a satellite or aircraft. Unlike conventional photography, which relies on reflected sunlight, synthetic aperture radar works by sending and receiving radio waves. It should be noted that the Ukrainian Defense Forces are systematically destroying Russia's air defense system in occupied Crimea. The Russian Armed Forces air defense systems on the peninsula are regularly hit. Recall in August, OSINT experts from the resource Zaporizhzhia confirmed the successful defeat of the Russian anti-aircraft missile system S-400 in the occupied Crimea. The destroyed installations were found on satellite images. According to OSINTers, the system consisted of 4 5P8 5SM launchers and a 9-2N6E radar system. Judging by satellite images, the Triumph was unable to defend itself from the attack. The image shows one 9-2N6E radar, one probably damaged 5P8 5SM launcher and one probably destroyed launcher on a tractor. The remaining 2 launchers are not seen in the image. They were most likely quickly pulled away, Zaporizhzhia reported. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine officially reported on the successful strike on the S-400 complex in Crimea on August the 3rd. According to its data, as a result of the missile strike, 4 Triumph launchers were destroyed.
North Korean television has broadcasted footage of the country's latest giant missile test, with leader Kim Jong-un and his daughter watching. The footage showed a massive transporter erector launcher vehicle, commonly referred to as a TL, setting up for the launch. North Korea's official state news agency KCNA said that the missile flew thousands of kilometers into the sky and into space before falling into the sea east of the country. The images shown by North Korean television of the latest missile test have not been independently verified. On Friday, KCNA identified the missile as Hwasong-19 ICBM and called it the world's strongest strategic missile and the perfected weapon system. KCNA said leader Kim Jong-un observed the launch, describing it as an appropriate military action to express North Korea's resolve to respond to its enemy's moves that escalated tensions and threats to North Korea's national security. It said Kim thanked weapons scientists for demonstrating North Korea's matchless strategic nuclear attack capability. South Korea's military earlier said that North Korea could have tested a solid-fueled missile, but Friday's KCNA dispatch didn't say what propellant the Hwasong-19 ICBM uses. Observers say the color of exhaust flames seen in North Korean media photos on the launch still suggest the new ICBM uses solid fuels. Before Thursday's test, North Korea's most advanced ICBM was known as the Hwasong-18 missile, which uses solid fuels. Preloaded solid propellants make it easier to move missiles and require much less launch preparation times than liquid propellants that must be fueled before liftoffs. So it's more difficult for opponents to detect launches by solid fuel missiles. In recent years, North Korea has reported steady advancement in its efforts to obtain nuclear-tipped missiles.
조선민주주의인민공화국이 갱신한 새로운 초강력 공격수단 최종 완결판 대륙간 탄도 미사일이 자태를 드러낼 역사의 시각을 앞둔 발사장은 세계 최강에 도달한 우리 국가 전쟁 억제력의 과시로서 반공화국 핵 대결 야망에 깃도 있는 가장 투악한 적수들을 전율케 할 전체 국방과학자들과 전략미사일병들의 의지로 용암마냥 끌어번졌습니다. 선간 천지를 진감하는 굉음과 함께 지구상의 온갖 악과 불의를 다스릴 조선인민의 화라로 치솟는 열적 의기와 적개심을 제어하는 절대적 힘의 실체가 거세찬 화염으로 지면을 눌러딛고 위압적인 자태를 떠올렸습니다. 발사된 미사일은 최대 정점 고도 7,687.5km까지 상승하며 거리 1,001.2km를 5,156초간 비행하여 조선동해 공해상 예정 목표 수역에 탄착됐습니다. 시험 발사는 주변 국가들의 안전에 그 어떤 부정적 영향도 주지 않았습니다. 적을 다스릴 수 있고 억제할 수 있는 강력한 힘으로 호소하는 흉화만이 국방과학 집단과 전략미사일병들은 주체 혁명의 경기창을 더욱 불필 곳으로 강력하게 다져나가며 국가의 핵 대응 태세를 강화하기 위한 성스러운 투쟁에 용기 100배 헌신 분투해 나갈 불같은 결의를